Hi guys, welcome to Pyromania, where I show my tips, tricks, and strategies that I've learned in my 7,000 hours of TF2 gameplay. Here I'm going to show my favorite weapon system. It's the Phlog combined with the Scorch shot on one of my favorite maps, Goldrush. And this is one of my favorite combinations to play on one of my favorite maps to play just because it's so hated. People just dislike the Phlog overall. They think the Scorch shot is weak compared to the flare gun, and there are so many complaints about Goldrush. I have no idea why. Actually, now I'm on Barnblitz here. But I really love this weapon system. I think it's fun, and I think it's effective. The Scorch shot has unlimited range. The arc on it isn't that bad. It's really easy to light up the whole enemy team from across the map. Here you can see I can't even see the enemy team from this far away, but I know they're there. So I just kind of keep shooting towards areas where I think they might be. Like there I can see some missiles coming, so I know they're over there. I figure they're probably near where the health pack and where the ammo is. And then once I do hit them and light them on fire, then I can see them, and also the rest of my team can see them. So you get a lot of assists with the Scorch shot. Really, I think not necessarily because of the damage, but because of the visuals. You're lighting the team on fire so the rest of the team can see it, and they can see the enemy team members burning, and it's kind of like sharks smelling blood. You know, they know that their enemies are a little bit damaged already because they're burning, and so they want to move them for the kill. So you get a lot of points. I mean, you could really get a lot of points and assists with the Scorch shot. The Phlog is actually a lot more difficult weapon to use. Unless you have crits, and even then, it's kind of difficult to stay alive too because it's got such a short range. But with the right strategy, it can be effective. So some of my favorite maps for this weapon combination are Barnblitz, Goldrush, and Dustbowl. Like I said, Goldrush is my favorite just because it's like people hate Goldrush and they hate the Scorch shot and they hate the Phlog, so when you're killing them with the Scorch shot and the Phlog on Goldrush, it just pisses people off so much that they want to leave. Which is kind of one of the reasons I like the game. It's just, I kind of enjoy making the team rage quit. Here I've got the Phlog, I've got the crits and got a couple of kills there, and I intelligently turned around and saved my own life, which is part of the strategy you have to remember to do, is not just run forward and then die, because if you turn around you can pull the Scorch shot back out and start building up that unfrayed away again. But you know, I'm guilty of making those mistakes. About half of the time when I use the crits, I just push forward until I die, and the other half of the time I manage to turn around a little bit. So here we're on the first chapter of Goldrush, and it's not really the best place to go Pyro with any weapon combination, but I've got a couple of heavies there doing some of the heavy lifting for me, and I'm gonna build up a little bit of umph here and then get some crits in a minute. And I'm just using the distance of the Scorch shot, and a lot of times people hide up there on the right. You can light that little barn up there on fire. Or you can shoot them at the end of this tunnel here, and then you can kind of go around with the Phlog and sneak up behind them right there. This is right behind where the majority of the enemy team hangs out at the beginning. Here at the end is another great choke point. There's a lot of good angles you can get on this little kind of alcove there in between those two buildings. You know, you have to go in that one spot. This is one of the kind of biggest choke points in the whole game on any of the maps. There's a place right behind where the card is right now. There's a spot that's only a few character feet wide that the enemy team has to go through, and you can just keep firing and build up really quick, and then you can either go down that hole right there and sneak up on the enemy, maybe if they're not defending that area, or just kind of sneak up to the corner there and run around it and just kind of take your chances. So I got a couple of kills that time, but I kind of got unlucky. I ran around the corner and there was a fully charged heavy medic combo there. So I'm going to show another clip where I built up again pretty quickly. like I said, in the same spot. You know the enemy team's going to be right there. Just keep firing, and you build up oomph really quickly. And this time I get a little bit luckier. So don't be afraid to shoot at enemy equipment either. You can take out equipment with the Pyro's weapons pretty easily. There, I took out the whole NG nest. I guess the sentry was just upgrading or something at that moment. So I got a little luckier this time. Last time there was a fully charged heavy waiting for me around the corner. This time there was an NG that was upgrading his sentry at just the right time for me to come in and squash it. Now I'm back to my favorite map, Goldrush. And this is a great spot, another choke point where the enemy team has to go through that really small corridor. The cart's there, there's ways around it, but if they want to push the cart, they have to go in that little tiny corridor. And you can just kind of hang out all around the back of this map with the scorch shot and fire from long range and just keep lighting up that corridor, and you can build up really quickly. So that time I got nicked by a sniper, which happens. You have to keep moving. I got a little bit lazy and stopped moving. But here I'm gonna build up oomph really quickly and go get a few kills. Now here's a clip from Barnblitz, and this is another map I really like for the Phlog Scorch shot combination, because there's choke points like this. There's always a battle at the door to this entryway to this barn here, and I'm standing where a lot of times snipers stand, but with the Scorch shot you get the burst effect, so you can light up that whole doorway. And here's how the Phlog works. You build up on the Scorch shot from a distance and then drop in close quarters with the Phlog. Here, if you can get upstairs with the Phlog, you can drop right on top of their spawn and kill them before they even get out of spawn. As soon as they open their door, you can get like an insta kill with the Phlog, and then they have to wait 20 or 30 seconds or something to respawn, so that's great. Now I'm back on Dustbowl. So it's 3 maps that I really like for this combination: Barnblitz, Goldrush, and Dustbowl. And Dustbowl isn't really the best map. It's got a few good spots, but it's the third round of Dustbowl really sucks because it can drag on for like a half hour, and the Scorch shot just doesn't really work that good on the third round. But here it works fantastically, and you can. I love it. I do it all the time. I can hold down the whole enemy team and trap them at their spawn with a Scorch shot, and I do it all the time. All I need is a few other people throwing in grenades or rockets, and really from a few different areas I can light up their exit from their spawn with the Scorch shot, and then it's really easy to run down here, and it's close quarters. They got a sentry gun there. Somebody smart, somebody knew what was going on. They knew they were getting hit by the Scorch shot and they were about to get flogged, so they set up the sentry. That's definitely an experienced player. And here you can, even if they've advanced out of spawn, you can build up oomph and then drop down the side of the barn right there and get them as well. There, I'm going to be smart and back off before I run in there and get killed by the sentry. Here's another spot where you can get some Phlog kills on Dustbowl. It's the beginning of the third stage. I don't recommend using the Phlog too much on Dustbowl because this third stage can drag on forever, but if you have a good team that's able to hold back the enemy team a little bit here at the beginning, you can build up some oomph with the Scorch shot from a distance, and then jump around the corner from the top of this stage here where they can't see you, like I'm going to do in just a minute. But I'm going to finish up with some of my general strategy, which is you have to build up oomph from a distance, and the Scorch shot is an excellent way to do that because of the area damage. You can set several players on fire at once. You don't want to build up oomph with your primary weapon, which is a flamethrower, because you're going to be in close proximity and drain your health before you get to execute your crits. And that's the end of this, so like and subscribe.